Hello, this is Molly Reamer with Bridget's Grove and 30 Days of Goddess with this week's Rituals of Returning Divination video. Today we are using the Black Goddess Within Oracle and the Wild Wisdom Companion. The Black Goddess Within is by Giovanni Washington and with art by Marla Warner, and then the Wild Wisdom Companion is by Maya Toll. We are also using the Daily Practice deck, which I created and is designed to inspire you with a little grab and go mini ritual to support you in creating a daily practice that fits your life. So we're actually going to go ahead and start with the Tanit card from the Black Goddess Within Oracle, because this is our month of Tanit. Our theme for 30 Days of Goddess is to protect, and the goddess we are honoring is Tanit. So I wanted to share that card with you. This deck is interesting because it's made using real women and then digitally manipulated into this oracle card format. So it's very interesting formatted deck, but they actually gathered the women together to create these photographs and to have them step into these roles of goddesses. So that is pretty cool. So I wanted to share some things that the author has to say with you about Tanit, but I also wanted to briefly touch on the using an oracle card deck like the Black Goddess Within, because I am a white person of primarily almost exclusively European descent. I come from colonist stock, like really intensely actually. And so sometimes, and I find this shows up in online communities, is sometimes people question that you shouldn't use a deck like that doesn't belong to you. And I wanted to address that because I think it's important for us to learn, for people, especially white people of European descent, to not have a narrow focus and think that kind of exclude the influence, the powerful influence and the powerful wisdom that comes from Black traditions, but also from indigenous traditions and from people of color around the globe. And so the author of this book does address that question. And she says at the beginning, whether it's okay for you to use this book if you are not Black. And she points this out, and I wanted to share that with you, is that this deck, if you're not Black, this deck will benefit you in the following ways. It will challenge and change the way you think about the Black body. It will increase access. As the deck changes you, will begin to change the way your families and communities think about Black people. It will decolonize your understanding of beauty and divinity and open your heart and mind to the immensity of Black life. It will dismantle the myths and mysteries that surround Africa and the origin of Black folks in the diaspora. Our motherland is full of value. Our motherland is full of value. And I will add there, full of value not to be extracted or profited from by white people, but to be shared from a wisdom base. And so she mentions, for any and all humans, this deck is an entryway to larger systemic change in the way the world considers Black men, Black women, and Black children. The Black Goddess Within Oracle deck puts us on a path to begin to live in a world that doesn't denigrate or destroy Black people. And so, as I said, the deck features contemporary Black women inhabiting these roles of goddesses from Africa. So anyway, very powerful deck, and I wanted to share those thoughts because I know this is an issue that comes up, especially with, spiritual white women making videos on YouTube. So anyway, here we go with Tanit. And so she's from Tunisia, Carthage. And what the book has to say about her is that standing in front of her temple, Tanit reigns over everything as far as the eye can see, from the land of her temple to where the heavens meet the horizon. Tanit is a warrior who advocates for and protects sailors, cities, and children. Some describe her as luck. Others describe her as fate. No matter what you call her, Tanit is discerning with her grace and good fortune. Tanit and her wisdom have persisted throughout centuries, surviving a stream of interloping attackers who would see her and her legacy erased. But Tanit persists. While nothing but the ruins of colonizers remain, Tanit is still recognized and worshipped not only at her temple, but also in maritime traditions across the globe. If you've drawn this card, the ancestors are calling to you to have courage, to be discerning about who is granted access to you, and to navigate that which you are asked to endure with patience and power. Freedom and success are yours to gain once you travel the stormy seas that surround you. So the invitation here is never give up. Begin to create an enduring legacy by unapologetically staking claim to that which is yours. So an affirmation for this week might be, I stake my claim I stake my claim to that which is mine. I do not give up. I am discerning about who is granted access to me. I navigate my life with patience and power. Let's see, what's another one? I travel the stormy seas with confidence and persistence, and perhaps even just I persist. I persist. And so, some powerful inspiration to draw upon for, well, I protect and persist could be another affirmation for you. I am discerning. I am discerning in my life and in my choices. So lots of inspiration to draw upon there with Tanit from that deck. And then we're going to go ahead and hop on over to the star card, which is one of the symbols for early summer. So happy summer solstice. And this star is one of the seasonal symbols in Maya Toll's deck, the Wild Wisdom Companion. And she shares that as we find inspiration, and Tanit's a goddess of the stars, so that's why she's see the stars, lots of star themes here. And so she shares that learning about stars, so fire is the element of the solstice and the summer solstice. And in school or in our lives, we learn that a star is a faraway fire and its light has traveled millennia to reach us. And so we can try to wrap our brains around looking at light that has traveled distances so fast, the star that created it may no longer exist. A star is both a thing and a holograph of a thing. It's the actual star and the light that has traveled and traveled and traveled until it reaches our eyes. So there's a vastness to this. And we can feel, as we stare up at the stars, we can feel that anything is possible, that the universe is magical and mystical and mysterious in ways that we haven't even begun to comprehend. The star is an icon of pure inspiration and aspiration, a beacon of possibility, a beacon of possibility. The star is fire striving outward, reaching across light years to remind us of hope and the magic of going the distance. So an affirmation could be, I go the distance. I go the distance. And I'm going to go back to Tanit real quick to say I didn't add any questions for her, but you might have a question of, how am I persisting? What am I protecting? Where am I journeying? Where am I seeking guidance? Could be some questions to go with her. So some questions that go with the star are, it's some affirmations that could go there, which it could be, I know the magic of going the distance. I know the magic of going the distance. I am courageous enough to hope. And then the questions posed, what do you aspire to? What do you aspire to? What magical dreams are you nurturing? What magical dreams are you nurturing? So the gifts of the star are a willingness to reach for the stars and to believe anything is possible. The challenges are flinging your energy so far out there that you become unmoored and have trouble grounding your dreams in soil where they can root. So here's another affirmation. I ground my dreams in soil where they can root. And I think this is an interesting connection to Tanit, since she guides sailors and seafaring people, and they often use the stars to navigate. So that is a good one there too. And then we're going to hop on over to our daily practice deck and see what we have. Ooh, release. And I've been talking a lot about being at the crossroads this summer as this time of choosing, being at the threshold, being at the crossroads. So I release what I no longer need. I look at my life with grace and I release what I no longer need. I pay attention to what has withered in the heat and I release. I release and I let go. I release and I let go can be another one. And then a practice. Tell your body thank you. Honor your own sacred space within. And so a really powerful practice can literally just be to rest your hands against your body and say or your belly and say thank you out loud. You can also carry that further into a more in-depth body blessing where you lay your hands on various parts of yourself and say thank you to each one of those parts of yourself. Thank you. Honor your own sacred space within. And then closing with something that's very perfect for our star and our universe goddess and our seeking guidance and reaching into mystery. Here we go. May I be as rhythmic as the tide, as wild as the wind, as replenishing as raindrops, as free as seeds on the breeze. May I be as bold as starfire on a dark night of chaos and dreams. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. Keep living your magic. Bye-bye.